April Rye.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. It never gets normal to hear about yourself publicly in your entire career, but I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for that. And I really want to say thank you to Dr. Chowdhury and Clemson University and the Center for Connected Multimobility for the opportunity to speak to you all today. Now, I'm going to attempt to share my screen so that I can share with you some slides that I've prepared and hopefully a couple of videos that everything will work smoothly. That is my hope. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen at this time. Okay, and I am hoping that you all can see that well. Maybe those of you that are participating on Zoom and I can see your hands raised, could give me a little thumbs up if you can see that well. Or maybe you all there can let me know that you can see that okay.
Yes, we can see that.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much. So our theme today is about the skills and qualifications that are needed for the next generation of transportation professionals. And so what I'm going to do today is I just want to tell you a little bit about COMTO, the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, and why this topic is so important to us, and why each of you are really critical to the future of transportation and all it has to offer. But I want to actually start by talking about what a professional journey, what does a career journey really look like? And why is it important to understand this at any stage of your career? Then we're going to talk about the progression of industry and kind of what skills and qualifications will be critical to be successful in what is widely accepted as the fourth industrial revolution that we are currently living in. And then we're going to end with a call to action for you. We're going to talk about some next steps and some resources that COMTO has to help you along your journey. So with that, we'll get into it. So about COMTO, I know that you got a little overview of who COMTO is, but if I have the opportunity to tell you, COMTO is a 51-year-old organization that was founded at Howard University. We have 37 chapters across North America, and our focus is really around equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility in the transportation industry. We are really excited to have our first official student chapter being formed right there at Clemson University. It's very, very exciting. And really the focus of COMTO is simple. We want transportation leadership and workforce to reflect the community served. So COMTO works to assist our members in bringing their equity, diversity, and inclusion goals to life. And I know when you see the word minority in Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, I know what people think. People think people of ethnic diversity. You think African Americans. You think ethnic diversity. But truly, the word minority in Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, it really includes all underutilized and all underrepresented groups. So I'm talking about persons of different ethnicities, persons of different genders, ages, abilities, orientations, and really just diversity and lived experience. That's what we need in transportation leadership. All of you, that's what we need. Because we believe that transportation and mobility is a right. One of my favorite people, Dr. Beverly Scott, she gave a talk to some graduating students, and she simply said, to move is to live. To move is to live. And that really rung a chord with me, because transportation really should be the great connector. That's what people say. Transportation is the great connector. Transportation should be the thing that connects people to education, opportunities, loved ones, life. So in order for it to be that great connector, we have to make sure that the people who make the decisions about transportation opportunities, modes, and everything in between should look like the community served, right? So that's what COMTO believes in. And we understand that not everyone moves about in the same way. Traditionally underserved and economically disadvantaged, vulnerable communities, they need access to reliable, affordable, and efficient transportation. And when this is not the case, then we know that there's high unemployment and low incomes. And so we need to make sure that people have easy access to work and essential services so they can live decent and independent lives. So with that comes this big mission that was already stated to you. We want to ensure opportunities and maximum participation in the industry for all of those underrepresented groups that you heard. And our vision is that we can ensure this access for minorities in transportation and position them for all of these leadership opportunities. So that's why this topic of next generation of transportation professionals, skills and qualifications, that's why it's perfectly aligned with the goals and the mission of COMTO, because all of you are critical to this discussion. You are the future leaders of this industry. So with that, I have to share with you, shameless plug, that I'm so excited to announce our student membership at COMTO is now free. So right now, you should be using your mobile device and going to comto.org. Click on that student membership and just sign up. There's no barrier. All we need to know is that you are enrolled in full-time in school, you have a GPA of 2.0 or higher, and you just tell us why you want to join this amazing network. That's all we require. And with that, you get access to scholarship opportunities and paid internship opportunities across the industry and direct connection to people who look like you leading this industry. There is no greater network than the COMTO network, and we want to make sure you all join it. So we remove that as a barrier. So with that shameless plug, and with you knowing a little bit more about COMTO, let's talk about what does a professional journey really look like. This is important. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was just entering my career, you see these two pictures on this slide. I really thought my whole career was going to look like that. Open road, straight, unobstructed. That's what my career was going to look like. I truly thought that. What did it actually look like? What did it actually turn out to be? Yeah, that other picture over there. Windy, curvy, sometimes unexpected twists and turns at each corner. But guess what? It's still advancing. And the important thing for you to know is that's okay. That is a normal career progression. That's what it looks like. And no one I know in my entire network has an unobstructed career journey. No one in my network that I know has a career journey that was just straight and open and had no curves or twists. So just understand that. It's important to understand that perspective and go with it, embrace it. What you need to do is set your own priorities, set your own value system, and you won't go wrong. My values include doing work that I believe in, matching the mission, making sure that I can live in my truth in whatever opportunity that I take on, and being able to do what's right even when no one's looking, being able to give 100% of my effort, use my skill set and my interest for the greater good. That's my value set. That's what I've said is important to me as I make a decision about my career. And that's what you should remember at any stage you are in your career. It's going to be a little windy and curvy. Embrace it, go with it. It's going to be great. This is what my chief of staff always says. It's going to be great before we do anything. And I love that. So a little bit more about my journey, just quickly. I was born and raised in San Diego, California. And I know when people think of San Diego, California, you think, oh, the sunshine, it's beautiful, the beaches. And it is true, it is all of that. But there's also another side to every city. And I grew up on that other side in an economically disadvantaged neighborhood, or what we lovingly call the hood. That's where I grew up. And this is the best thing that we have. It's this big lemon. It's called Lemon Grove. That is where I started my life. The city that the best thing we have is this huge lemon because there's a bunch of lemon trees in the area where I grew up. But we didn't have a lot. We didn't have a whole lot, but we had a lot of love. We learned about setting your values, and that has stuck with me throughout my career journey. And so my mother, who worked really hard to raise our family, she worked at Caltrans. She worked for a transportation agency in the Disability and Evaluations Office. And it was her job to help persons with disabilities to be able to attain funding that they needed because they had that disability. And her best advice to me when I was growing up was to get a job with good state benefits. Get a job that has good benefits, get a good state job. That's the best advice that she could give me. So I did that. When I graduated high school, I became a sign language interpreter in the state of California. And it was a good state job with good benefits. And it was also amazing to be able to connect with the deaf community and assist them in communicating as they lived their lives. But at some point, I just had a calling. I felt like I could do a little more. And I got an opportunity to move to Washington, D.C. and work for a government affairs firm advocating for persons with disabilities, advocating for transportation policy, equity, and environmental issues. Quickly after that, after some years, I started to notice that the values that my organization had no longer aligned with my value set. Some of the things they were advocating for, I did not believe in. I couldn't agree with that. I couldn't help that move forward. And just to give you one example of one of those things was, one of the things my company was advocating for at the time was private prisons. Terrible. Somebody would go straight from high school to jail. What? I can't work for a place like this. So I left. I left that firm and went to go work for the University of Maryland School of Nursing. Got back to my value set and began to work in nursing diversity in the healthcare industry. And I was able to connect with a really important program through the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation on the intersection between healthcare and transportation equity. And here I am, right? So that was the perfect alignment for me to start working in that space. I work with the NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, on transportation programs for vulnerable populations, workforce development, readiness, all those things that align with my value set. And that's how I came to Compto. And I couldn't be happier to be at an organization that advocates for minorities in transportation and makes it accessible for everyone. So I only tell you all of that business to tell you what a windy and curvy road that I went through to be in this seat. I could never have told you when I was a little young one growing up in Lemon Grove, California, that I would be the president of anything. You couldn't have convinced me, but here I am, so happy to be here. But I was open to opportunities that may not necessarily have sounded like the right thing, but I had to check it against my value set, check it against my skills and interests, and that's what brought me to this role. And you're going to have to do the same thing as you think about where your career may take you, what choices you make at any stage in your career. You'll always have to think about that. So let's talk now about the progression of industry as a whole and the unique position that we find ourselves in as we talk about transportation, innovation, and where we are today. So let's talk about the progression of industry. Now, as you all know, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. The transportation industry is experiencing ongoing transformation as a result of technological changes and population growth and shifts. And those who plan and design and construct all of our transportation systems, they're going to need to be prepared for the evolution of this industry, which is going to include new transportation modes, materials, technologies, and environmental changes. We've come a really, really, really long way. The first industrial revolution starting in 1765, this was really came about with coal and the creation of the steam engine. And we're talking about huge changes that changed the way people lived, worked, got things done, and produced. Looking at the second industrial revolution, gas and oil, electricity, the combustion engine, steel production, once again, completely changing the way we moved, the way we worked, the way we lived, the way we operated. Fast forward to 1969, electronics and nuclear, the start of computer technology and some automation. This is when nuclear energy and electronics were used to advance technology in factories. The very beginning of computer technology increased our productivity, our production, and we had programmable memory in computers. And those are the beginnings of how robots would be used in manufacturing. So now here we are today, coined by Dr. Schwab in 2016. It's widely recognized that we're living in the fourth industrial revolution right now, starting in the year 2000. And we understand that there's this environment where we have these disruptive technologies and trends that are changing the way we live, work, and operate. We've got the Internet of Things, robotics, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. It's changing the way we live and work. So now we have smart factories. We have this high level of interconnectivity with high-speed mobile internet, AI, machine learning, big data, and that is going to allow us to make informed decisions and change the way we get things and people from one place to the other and provide services and products to the market. So if you think about that, if you think about where we're living and the makeup of the population globally, what does the transportation industry really need? It needs you. It needs you. You know why? Because of all your lived experience, all of your diversity, your gender, your abilities, your ethnicity, your culture, your economic background, your knowledge, your skills. All of those things inform the way we move, the way we live. It informs how we interact with people and systems and how we use resources. And when you become a leader, you're going to rely on that experience as well as the experience of your team and your combined knowledge and experience to make decisions that will transform others' lives. In transportation, this translates to where systems are accessed, how accessible they are, fare costs, security, enforcement, new mobility, micromobility, how it's introduced, where, automation, electric options. We need you, persons with diverse lived experience who can drive innovation and ensure safe, accessible, and equitable systems for everyone. If you don't remember anything else about what I told you today, remember that. Transportation needs you yesterday. So what does the future of transportation look like? The future of transportation is multimodal. It's highly connected. It is on demand. It's accessible. It's fast. It's automated. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of amazing technologies that are really driving the future of transportation. Now, I hope that this works well, but I want to show you just 3 short videos about some amazing technologies. The first one is on dynamic wireless power transfer. This is a specialized induction technology that powers electric buses with renewable energy while in motion. Yes, you heard me, while in motion. This is phenomenal. This is something that can be used on existing real estate without the need for added charging stations and is a direct wireless transmission. So I'm going to exit out of this and I want to show you this quick video. Let me stop sharing.
Electreon and its unique technology.
Let me reshare. Here we go. And we're going to watch the short video.
Developed in order to change the future of transportation. The change starts today. Electreon Smart Road quickly and efficiently transforms our public infrastructure into a source of advanced energy. Public transportation vehicles will not require any refueling or charging at any time whatsoever. So what does Electreon do? Electric vehicles will receive continuous power while the vehicle is being driven directly from the infrastructure embedded under the asphalt road. Instead of carrying the heavy and expensive battery with a limited driving range and a short lifetime. With Electreon's groundbreaking technology, one can simply travel non-stop. Our city's landscape will change dramatically. No more gas stations, nor cumbersome battery charging stations. And as the number of vehicles traveling on the smart road increases, air pollution around us will decrease drastically. Electreon's innovative and sophisticated technology is extremely efficient and very affordable. The upgrading of a mile of an asphalt road will only require the embedding of a narrow copper coil, which will be connected to the electricity grid. And that's it. We completed another smart and green road in just a few days. The upgrading of vehicles is also very simple. We install a receiver at the bottom of the vehicle and we are ready to go. Electreon's plan is underway. We are moving fast on the road to turning entire cities into electric and green cities. After we successfully complete the demos, we are embarking on pilot projects all over the world together with our international partners. We shall start electrifying main routes for public transportation. The next stage will enable us to continue the upgrading of the main roads of cities. And from there, we shall open and service distribution vehicles, sharing vehicles, and finally, autonomous vehicles. In order to ensure maximum flexibility, the vehicles will also be able to travel on non-electrified routes. The future of transportation is already here. The technology exists and works successfully, changing the reality as we know it. You are invited to join us and follow the pilots and the first deployment on Electreon's website.
Okay, so that was just one example, something really dynamic that is happening that is really changing the way we move, work, live, get from one place to the next, and are smart about it. The next one that I wanted to show you was about smart pavement. Now, smart pavement technology.
This weird shape-shifting device is quickly becoming
old. Smart pavement technology is a system that will communicate information about weather, traffic, accidents, and other roadway conditions to both vehicles and the central processing hubs and emergency response teams, and can help our roadways be safer, but also allow our vehicles to have a Wi-Fi platform and other future mobility services. So I'm going to show you this short video about smart pavement technology. Hold on one moment.
Becoming the most popular Father's Day gift of 2022. It replaces up to 90% of measurement tools.
Today, we have smartphones, smart appliances, smart cars, and even smart cities. But our roads are still just roads. But what if our roads of tomorrow could become a digital network, connecting drivers with real-time information, supporting driverless vehicle technology, and providing true connectivity between smart cars and smart cities? Introducing the Smart Pavement System from Integrated Roadways. Factory-built pavement sections. 4 times longer lasting than traditional asphalt pavement. Embedded with digital technology and wireless connectivity to transform ordinary roads into smart roads. Each interlocking smart pavement slab has upgradable digital technology that provides a seamless internet connection to vehicles on the road. Drivers will enjoy real-time information about traffic, road conditions, or accidents. In fact, smart pavement technology can automatically call for help if there's an accident or a vehicle leaves the roadway. Much like the trackpad on a laptop, sensors in the pavement can feel the positions, weights, and velocity of every vehicle on the road, providing superior navigation for Level 4 autonomous vehicles, in addition to capturing valuable traffic and usage data. And like a smartphone, the Smart Pavement platform has unlimited potential for third-party applications and services, which means our roads will actually generate income from value-added services. The smart roads of the future will be self-funding and not require tolls or new taxes, enabling us to upgrade public infrastructure without requiring more public money. Smart pavement technology isn't some far-off concept of tomorrow. It's here, today. And Integrated Roadways is already partnering with various state departments of transportation and municipalities to bring our highway system into the 21st century and beyond, turning our roads into smart roads and connecting the smart cities of the future.
Isn't that cool? Amazing. So we're talking about using high-resolution fiber optic sensors inside the pavement to detect vehicle positions, roadway conditions in real time, and detect accidents and notify emergency responders. This is
Find out more about Integrated Roadways.
amazing stuff. Last short video, just 1 minute and 40 seconds long, about solar road paint. This is a system of interactive and sustainable roads, and they're working to use smart light energy to interact with traffic. So this one is about glowing lanes. Last one I wanted to show you.
which charge at daytime and glow at night, and make landscapes which are energy neutral and on the other hand just incredibly beautiful. That is something I like to call techno-boat.
Okay. Now let me get back my PowerPoint. Give me just one moment. Okay, let me put this back into slideshow. Okay, here we go. Now I can reshare my screen. Thank you for your patience. All right, here we go. So super cool. That last one you saw was about solar paint that collects energy during the day and then can glow for up to 8 hours at night to increase visibility and safety. All amazing things. And I'm sure you all have heard of other phenomenal technologies and innovations, but innovation is born out of necessity. These are things that you think of when you have a need, and you all have diverse backgrounds of where you come from. Maybe you have or have not utilized public transportation. Your experience is valuable because that's how we push innovation and get better, by utilizing our lived experience. So the future of transportation, this is a beautiful little depiction that I like. It shows all the different connections, micromobility, EV charging, you got pedestrians, you got bicyclists, you got folks in vehicles, you got public transportation. It's going to be connected and smart. And that's why the skills and qualifications that are needed, it's so important that we understand that and expand it so that we can reach this future quickly. So let's talk quickly about some of those skills and qualifications that are needed. And I want to talk about the fact that this can fit any choice and lifestyle regarding education, or even if you're a left brain person or a right brain person. So maybe you don't want to go to school for 8 years and, obtain a doctorate, or maybe you just want to get a licensure, a certification, or maybe you're somewhere in between. It's all good. Transportation still needs you. What if you're a more creative person and you want to be able to, innovate with creativity, or maybe you're more of an analytical person? Guess what? There's a place for you in transportation. Super important that we know that. So just a brief overview of some of the things that are needed with different positions. So what about a transportation planner? This is somebody who is an analytical person. You're a master problem solver. What are some of the most important skills? You know what the top one is? Customer service. You have to be able to work with a team. That is the most important thing. But then you got to be a great problem solver. You've got to be someone who enjoys mathematics. GIS is becoming really important, a geographic information system, knowledge of those systems. Project management, to be able to keep yourself organized and on target to meet deadlines. And then communication, that's important in all of them. Not only verbally, the way you communicate, but also your ability to document things, write it down. Now, the education requirements to be a transportation planner is a bachelor's in civil engineering, environmental science, town planning, a related field, geography. Those are some of the things that are needed. What about if you want to be a robot doctor? Okay, that's not what the position is called, but that's what I call it. Robot technician, robotic technician. That's where you service and repair robots and automated production systems. You got to be a good troubleshooter. You got to say, what's the problem? Let's figure out where the source of this issue is. You got to be able to have systems thinking, understanding how systems work, their components, and identifying issue areas. The ability to work on a team, once again, very, very important. Interpersonal skills and data collection and analysis, also really important. What are the education requirements, though, of a robot doctor? Just an associate's in electrical engineering technology or mechanical engineering technology or a related field. So just showcasing some of the options with regard to education requirements for some of the different positions. And then last but not least, what if you want to be somebody who tests autonomous fleets, their operations? Right there, you just need your CDL license, and you need to understand the software and development lifecycle and maybe have some experience in testing robotic systems. Once again, really important that you have excellent verbal and written skills, reading comprehension, be able to provide insight on what you're seeing to the teams that are going to help fix it, and be able to be a steward of safety. Also really, really important. But just wanted to highlight some of the options that are available in transportation, regardless of what your thoughts are with regard to education, whether you want to be in school for a little bit, a long time, or even just get a certification. There is a space for you in transportation. So I want to conclude with this. COMTO wants to see you choose transportation as a career. And we have a lot of resources to help you do just that. We have our membership that I explained to you is at no cost to students. We have amazing events that you can take part in. And I've got some QR codes here. We'll make sure we get you this presentation so you can scan these at your leisure. But we also have ways to assist you with your education journey by providing scholarships. I am out there really challenging organizations that we work with to provide more dollars to students to help them with their education journey. We're also focusing on paid internship programs across modes and disciplines with our members and partners to make sure that you can have a real world experience in transportation. So please sign up. We have our summer internship program is kicking back off in 2023, and we have 25 host regions that are ready to take you on and give you a real world experience in transportation, as well as research on transportation technologies, as well as products that are available to solve real world issues that transportation leaders are experiencing. So our information is right there. We really hope that you reach out, stay in touch. I'm on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'd love to stay connected and see you on your career journey, because together we're going to change the face of transportation and make equity and diversity and inclusion business as usual. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, President Rai. So I'm so glad I was able to listen to your presentations. I learned a lot. So thank you so much. So I want to just add what you said. So one of our students, Jaquan Pollard, who is my graduate student, received a scholarship from COMTO, right? Jaquan recently got a very nice scholarship from COMTO. So the opportunities are abundant. So yes, Jaquan, are you parts in the line, or you probably they're in the demo side, so they're showing a lot of things that we'll be doing today. But yeah, so that's a success story. So
I love it.
Thank you so much. So now I'd like to open up the floor for any questions you may have for President Rai. Yes, so Dr. Nadim Aziz, one of our advisory board members, have a question. So Dr. Aziz, do you want to come here, or just, yeah, you can.
If you all can hear me from here, can you hear me from here? Okay, great. I just wanted to ask, first of all, thank you for a wonderful presentation. For the three technologies you showed in the videos, the three video clips, have they been implemented? Are they still in the testing phase? Do you know what the what time horizon we're looking at for them to become really implemented by DOTs around the country?
Yes, so many of the technologies that I showed, and you will not be surprised by this, are global technologies, a lot of them out of Sweden. As you all know, that's where the Vision Zero concept started. These are international concepts. And so I would need to do some follow-up to see if any of our US DOTs have taken on some of these pilots. There were several pilots. I think there are several that are on the state side that are pilot projects, but full implementation, I think, is on the global side and not necessarily in the US, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Thank you.
Any question from the audience, online audience? So I have a question, President Rai. So in terms of COMTO's the outreach, is there any training available from COMTO, like maybe a couple of hours of training, or are you thinking about offering some training programs for members and students?
Yes, so we have several training opportunities. One of them is just through our local chapters. So as you all know, we have 37 chapters across North America, including Canada. And each of those chapters on an annual basis put on several professional development workshops, trainings. They will do technical tours on transportation projects that are happening in their region. So those are more region specific to really make sure that they're applicable to those who are working and learning within those regions. So each of our chapters now has one comprehensive place where you can find what's going on. So at comto.org, if you click on chapters, you'll be able to see all 37 chapters listed. And if you click on one, you'll be able to see their events and programs, training programs. They are now putting the information there. So there's one comprehensive site where you can see what is happening across each of the 37 chapters. So that's kind of one main mechanism we use for training opportunities. The second is at our National Meeting and Training Conference, and that is our gathering of all of the, what we call the COMTO family in one place. And so next year, save the date, everyone, it's going to be July 7 through 11, 2023, and it's going to be in Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
So it's very exciting. And if you choose to be an intern, this is another shameless plug, sign up to be an intern in 2023, and you'll be placed at a state DOT or at a transportation, construction or service agency. You'll be placed with, a host organization for 10 weeks, paid opportunity, at least $18 an hour, but we're asking them to pay even more. And you'll learn real world experience in a certain transportation discipline. And then those students will also come to our annual conference and talk to CEOs about their experience, what happened. And I'll tell you, many of those who serve as interns and take advantage of that training opportunity, they stay in transportation. They are employed. And those folks that they give presentations to, those CEOs, they're handing out their business card to make sure that you come to their organization and come work. So that is one of our most successful training opportunities, is our annual conference, and our interns go to that conference and get additional training there as well. And then throughout the year, at the headquarters level, we have other training opportunities through webinars that are done through our national committees. So we have some committees that are focused on certain areas of transportation. One of them is focused on our MWDBE firms. So these are women-owned, minority-owned, disadvantaged veteran-owned businesses that operate in transportation. We have different trainings talking about the entrepreneurial spirit. How did they stand up their organizations, keep them sustained? So those of you who have an entrepreneurial spirit and think maybe you'll run your own organization one day, we want to support you in that journey and get you a mentor so you can learn from those who are operating their own firms. We also have committees that are focused on emerging leaders. So that's someone who is maybe new to the transportation industry and ready to ascend and attain a decision-making position, a leadership position. We have training specifically through that committee to learn how to get there. So just stay tuned to the compto.org news channel. You'll see a lot of opportunities coming up. We're ramping up for 2023, and there's so much to share.
Awesome. So Dr. Harris, Vice President from Benedict College, so she has a question. Dr. Harris.
I noticed on the map that there's no COMTO chapter in South Carolina. Can the students still apply to be members through another venue?
That is an excellent question. You're correct. We don't currently have a chapter in North Carolina, but there's a lot of formation efforts happening, Dr. Harris. So just know, keep on the lookout. We've got a lot of chapters in formation stage right now. But yes, a student can sign up and essentially you just select whatever chapter you feel comfortable with to partake in their different activities. But really, you're open. Once you're a member of COMTO, you're a member of COMTO. You can participate in any activities that are happening across all 37 chapters. And the one good thing that came out of COVID is that we utilize virtual technology in such a much smarter way now, don't we? This was around a long time ago, but we simply didn't use it. Well, our chapters are the same. Many of their opportunities, their trainings, they're offered virtually as well as in person, so it's hybrid. So it doesn't really matter which chapter you select. That's just kind of who's going to keep track of you and make sure that you're engaged, but you have access to any of the chapter events or opportunities that are happening across any of the 37 chapters.
So Clemson has a member of the national chapter, and also we have a student chapter, COMTO student chapter. So yeah, I think Benedict College, SC State, USC, so they can also start their own chapter, and I think we can coordinate the activities. I just want to call Jaquan Pollard. He received the COMTO scholarship recently, so I just want to so you can formally thank President Rice. So.
Hello, Ms. Wright. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. I'm doing well. Yes. So yes, I would like to thank you and COMTO and the funding committee scholarship, right, for providing me with the Hatch Engineering Scholarship. Yes.
Yay! That is awesome. It is so nice to see you. I'm so happy that you were able to receive that scholarship. And this is part of my job. I have to be a little bit pushy, but I'm pushy for a good reason. We had a conversation with Hatch this year and we said, wow, we have students who have a need. Why don't you be generous? And we pushed them to offer a little more than maybe they normally do. And guess what? You were the recipient of that. That's phenomenal. So that makes me good that I was pushy to them. And I'm so happy that you were able to take advantage of that.
Many more, many more. Yes.
Yeah, I'm proud to be his advisor. So he made me a star.
Excellent.
Hi, Dr. Ronnie Shroudery. This is Dawn Tucker with USDOT. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yes, I had a question for April. April, this is Dawn, and for those that don't know me, I'm with the U.S. Department of Transportation, the University Transportation Centers program. And I was unaware that students did not have to join a student chapter in order to become a member of COMPTO, that they can join COMPTO for free. And that's very important to know. Is there any way, because we work with 150 universities in the UTC program, and as you know, we're in the middle of a grant competition right now. But
Yes.
Is there any way that you could share this information with me? So when we do have, our past and present grant recipients, so I can make them aware of this as we're working with them and meeting with them, because I'm sure there would definitely your numbers will increase if students were aware that they didn't have to necessarily join a student chapter, but they could directly join COMPTO.
That's such a good point. Hi, Dawn, and thank you so much for all of your support. By the way, you all, Dawn is an amazing partner, and she is out there championing equity and diversity in her own way in her role at the USDOT. So thank you, Dawn, for being an amazing champion in your own right. Absolutely. We will get you a one-pager, a one-sheet, Dawn, on the student membership opportunity, and it'll just be something really easy that you can share with your contacts in the UTC program. The more the merrier. A student can just pick whatever chapter they would like. It doesn't necessarily have to be a student chapter to join COMPTO. We want no barriers to them being able to access this network and apply for scholarships and paid internships. So absolutely, Dawn, I'll follow up and give you a one-pager on that student opportunity and make it real easy for you to share it broadly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And you give very good scholarship. So it's very